Hey, what's good, everybody? It's Matty here. I'm here for the the yearly perfume review. Today, I've got a brand new perfume. I don't think anyone's talked about this at all. It's a brand new brand. The name of the house is called Balchaud. It's from France. The perfumer, Jean-Christophe Hérault. You guys know that I'm really into his perfumes. So here we go. This for me. This is a really special one. Well worth sort of checking out if you can. Bit of backstory to this house first. About a year ago, this is like Christmas 2023. They released this new kind of brand. They had a different name at the time. They released a set of soaps, and all the scents that the soaps were perfumed with were actually perfumes, and then they got converted into different sort of formulas to work in a set of soaps to sort of bring out all the facets of the perfume, which was really, really cool. They were relatively expensive, so I kind of put it on the back burner. I thought, maybe I'll just wait for the perfumes. Then when the soaps launched, I couldn't really resist. I'm someone who does use soaps. I don't use shower gels. And all the scents that there was 3 soaps, and they were all brand new scents from Jean-Christophe. So I was like, okay, we've got to get these just to get a preview of these new scents. So this was the sort of thing they sold. They sold us this set of soaps. This is, like I said, it's a different name they were under at the time, the company. But yeah, I got these soaps in, much anticipating the sort of smells, and unsurprisingly, the scents that they were scented with, and these were really like potent smelling soaps as well. Here they are. You had 3 scents that the scents were so scented with. There was one that was based around grapefruit, which was absolutely incredible. I like my citrus smells. There was one that's based around rose, but it was like a fruity rose. Again, absolutely incredible smell. Rose isn't really my thing so much, but I really enjoyed it. And then the last one was an iris-based scent, which was an absolutely, I think I've got, that one's here. This is an absolutely phenomenal iris scent. So basically all 3 of these scents were like, to me, they were like the next level in like creations by Jean-Christophe. I thought these are the best things he's pretty much done, period. Really, really excited by the smells. Probably like the ones I was most interested in buying the perfumes for were the grapefruit one and the iris one. I thought they were really stand out. I thought they were absolutely amazing. The rose one again was lovely, but I'm not really a rose person, and obviously a bit more of a feminine smell. So I was eagerly anticipating the perfume to launch. Unfortunately, it didn't launch straight away. I think the brand, because they were a brand new brand, they were going through the sort of process of sort of getting things together, getting the presentation sort of good and stuff. So I didn't get it straight away. Well, they didn't launch straight away. They didn't launch until just the end of last year. I think it was around November, December. They just finalized everything, rolled out the website. I was keeping tabs. I was like, what's up? When are the perfumes coming out? I was getting the updates, expressing that I was really interested in it to the brand. They're on Instagram. If anyone wants to give them a follow, I'll put the sort of link and stuff. Top stuff. They always respond. The lady who runs it, really, really cool, really, really friendly. So yeah, anyway, this year the perfumes launched. They're targeted at the niche end, so they're not the cheapest perfumes. I don't normally make a purchase on perfumes that's this expensive on a quote-unquote blind buy, but for me it wasn't a blind buy because, like I said, I had the soaps and I'd smelt the scents, and even though you don't necessarily get 100% of how the perfume's going to smell from the soap, the way the soaps were done, I really did, I could really pick out that was the grapefruit one was a standout grapefruit, and the iris seemed to be very, very well balanced as well. So anyway, the name changed from what they were called when the soaps launched, and it's now Balchaud is the name of the house. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, but anyway, so I ordered the perfume as soon as I could, came from France. The retail price on these is €295, and they just do the 100ml size at the moment. So it's a relatively expensive blind buy. I wouldn't necessarily recommend blind buying unless you really know what you like, but there are going to be, from what I've been told, there's going to be smaller sizes next year. There's going to be a 10ml size, maybe like a travel set, so if people want to dip in, before they blind buy, and hopefully they'll roll out to more and more places in terms of retail. Because at the moment, like I said, you can order direct from France, which is what I did, and then they're available, I think, in Poland, and I was told maybe some stores in Italy and Mexico, and they're going to work on the UK, which is where I am as well. Hopefully the UK, they pick them up in the UK, because like I said, I ordered this from France, there's some shipping, there was quite a lot of customs tax, so all in all, an expensive purchase for a perfume for myself. Like, this is about the upper end of what I will spend on a perfume. It has to be absolutely, you know, it has to be an absolute sort of knockout 10 out of 10 thing for me to want to buy it at the sort of price this was, you know, about £300 plus basically. So a fair whack for a bottle of perfume. But I can't say I'm disappointed. I'm gonna show you guys what you get. So you get this lovely box, which is literally the box for the box, you'll see. So you get a box, pop this open, and you get the actual box, which is like this hexagonal thing. Really lovely box. Like, I don't normally go in for like perfume boxes, you know, I'm not one for like fancy presentation and stuff, but this is absolutely gorgeous. Apparently they're handmade, these boxes. Yeah, and there you go, you got your perfume bottle in here. But this box is something I will keep. I'm not bothered about the boxes, but this is such a gorgeous box, the way it fits in the hand, the way it looks, sort of shapes on it and stuff. It's got all these sort of patterns. From what I understand, it's all around like sacred geometry, and there's like this dragonfly thing I read about as well on the Fragrantica article that they've got about the brand. But yeah, pop the box. You got your bottle here. I'll try and show it as best I can. It's got the hexagonal shape on the lid, and there's like a little kind of crystal on top as well, and the crystals are different colours for each of the scents that they do. This one, it's the grapefruit scent. It's called Amour Citron. The initial launch of scents, basically the 3 scents in the soaps that I smell, 2 of those made it to the final launch. So you had 6 perfumes launch, and 2 of them were 2 of the scents from the soaps. The one based around grapefruit, which became called Amour Citron, and the one based around rose, which is called Rosa du Matin, which is, yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, I've managed to sample all of them now. The 2 by Jean-Christophe were the ones I was really like, you know, eager to smell. So we've got Amour Citron here. Absolutely lovely. I'll tell you a bit about the scent. I'll tell you what I get, how it smells. Like I said, it wasn't totally a blind buy because I'd smelt the soaps, so I know how it was going to smell. But yeah, I'll give you some info on this basically. So you got Amour Citron, Jean-Christophe Hérault. You guys who don't know him, he did Aventus. He's increasingly doing great stuff in the last few years. He's done stuff for Jack Fat. He's got Vetiver Gris. He's got Ensign's Copal. He's got a jasmine fragrance. He's got Mystery for Him. Last time I came on, I told you guys about Mystery for Him. It's basically an updated Aventus, a sort of a new twist on Aventus, more on the pineapple side. He's got that. This guy is my absolute favourite perfumer. Really, I don't buy many perfumes. I don't really smell many perfumes these days, but the stuff that he's doing really interests me. I think he's absolutely outstanding, especially with the sort of fruity smells, the citrus smells, the fresh scents. So this one is right in that ballpark. Amour Citron. So like I said, it's based around grapefruit. The grapefruit in here is a very particular sort of grapefruit extract, which is a new thing that's come on the market. It's called Grapefruit Heart. And it's produced by a company called LMR, who do a lot of the extracts that some of the IFF perfumers have been using. This Grapefruit Heart, I was actually lucky enough to smell this material on its own. I went to a perfume course this year, got to play around with some materials. I was smelling all the citrus smells because I'm like a big, you know, I love the citrus sort of scents. And the lady who's running the course said, oh, we got this one, this LMR Grapefruit Heart. Oh my God, I've got to smell this, because I knew this was one of the materials that was going to be in this perfume. So I got to smell that solo, and it's a standout. It really is. All the citruses I smell like orange, sweet orange, bergamot, lemon, I smell all these different sort of extracts of citrus, but this LMR Grapefruit Heart was the best one by miles. It just had the most balanced profile. It was very sharp and sort of citric and bitter, but it also had this sweetness to it off the top. Really, really gorgeous. citrus extract. Really, it's a perfume in itself, but you know, and I tried to put it into my, I was like making a perfume just because it was like a workshop. I tried to put it into my perfume. I made something with it that smelled okay, I guess, due to this material. But I'm no Jean-Christophe. I can't do anything sort of on this level. So this is his latest and greatest citrus perfume. I think it's really the first time he's done a fruity citrus on a niche level like this. I think it's maybe the first time he's tackled this genre again since Aventus, really, to be honest. That's why I was so, I love the soap smell. I was just so excited to get my nose, you know, on the final perfume. So what I'll do, I'm going to read out the list of notes and I'll spray some and obviously get excited and happy and stuff. But okay, so we've got Amour Citron. Here it is. The notes for it, you've got the top, you've got the LMR grapefruit heart, which I just talked about, blackcurrant bud. That gives you an idea you're going to get some sort of tanginess with it, and neroli. The heart, you've got orange flower absolute, which is different to neroli. It's a different extract of the same sort of thing, but it's got a different quality. So you've got sort of doubled up there. But you've got orange flower absolute, magnolia flower, so a different floral thing there. There's a mention of something called a watery accord. When I read the blurb for this, it mentions a watery accord, so I've kind of stuck that in there as there's something in here to give it a sort of watery sort of vibe. And Mirabelle plum, which is really the unique, that plum thing, the Mirabelle plum. I don't think I've ever smelled a Mirabelle plum. It's like an orange, it's like a yellowy orange plum, so it doesn't look like your typical like purple plum. Apparently it has a very unique sort of smell profile. I tried to sort of look up what a Mirabelle plum smelled like. Best I could get, it's kind of exotic. Some people smells of honeys and apricots. Apparently they make a lot of jams out of it. Distinctive peach-like smell. Some places said it smelled apricot, raisin, honey. Something said coconut, and yeah, anyway, there's various things about what a Mirabelle plum smells like, but it's supposed to be quite unique smelling plum. So that's the unique like fruity note in here, and obviously there's no extract of that per se, but Hérault has used some things to make it, you know, smell like this plum sort of smell. And then the base, you've got Amber Tonic, which is, I believe it's an IFF captive, like ambery molecule, amber woody molecule, supposed to be very, very nice. Sinfonide, which is another IFF captive musk. We've smelt Sinfonide from Vetiver Gris, and I think his other one for Jack Fath, the Jasmine one, also has Sinfonide as well. Basically, Sinfonide is a newer musk that's been used. It gives a lot of sort of lift and carry to the fragrance. It's very clean smelling, very slightly powdery aspect to it, but basically it's a musky element in the base. So you've got this sort of ambery musky thing, and also you've got Cyst Absolute, which is basically it's the same plant that they make labdanum from, but labdanum is the resin and the cyst is the like the twigs and the leaves as well as the resin, so it's slightly less of a smoky thing than labdanum. So you basically got an amber musky base, a fruity floral middle section, and a citrus top with the blackcurrant as well. All in all, it should smell great, shouldn't it? It doesn't have any extra vanilla or sweet notes, which is something I don't really go in for, the like citruses that have a lot of vanilla and things to sweeten them up. I do like my citruses to be sharp, tangy, hard hitting, obviously very natural. So I'm going to give it a little spray and yeah, we'll just go over how I sort of react to it. Here we go. Ooh, okay. A very, very delicious, sharp opening. It's that grapefruit is like straight off the top. You get the grapefruit. Do another spray. Yeah, it's very, very sharp off the top. Very sharp, almost like a liquor, the way it smells with the plum. And then it immediately goes into sort of middle section where you've got this like tangy, it's very hard to describe this part of the perfume, but it's very unique. You won't have smelled a citrus slash fruity perfume that has this sort of fruitiness to it. It's kind of that grapefruit, blackcurrant, plum thing. It's highly like mouth-watering and juicy. It's so delicious. It really is. This is Jean-Christophe at the top of his game. For you guys who like Aventus, who appreciate, like, the Aventus is obviously a jasmine. It's got pineapple, blackcurrant, apple. That's the sort of magic of Aventus there. This one I think is on that level. It's probably not going to please the people who like, you know, the pineapple. Maybe it's a little more unisex overall. I find this one to be slightly masculine leaning, which is why I love it. It's very, very, yeah, it's just absolutely delicious. It's like when you smell this, your mouth will just water. You'll be like, oh my God, I wish I could eat or drink this. And that is, yeah, it's just magical stuff. It really is. It's, do another spray. It's, yeah, it's so fruity and so citric. One of the things about the grapefruit heart is that it's a citrus note that persists. So the good thing about this is as it settles, that middle section is like dominant in the scent. But that grapefruit sort of edge to it, which is strongest in the opening, never really goes away. That's the magical thing about this. That's how the grapefruit heart has been utilised with the sort of, you got like a very well balanced base note as well. But the grapefruit heart really does persist through the whole length of the perfume. And yeah, it use just this juicy, tangy, you know, the plum, the blackcurrant. It's very hard to describe how this plum note smells in the perfume. It's something you really have to get your nose on. I think it's absolutely amazing. Like I said, it's unique. I haven't smelled a citrus perfume that has that intense fruitiness like this, unless we go back to something like Aventus, but certainly within perfumes that smell like grapefruit. That have a grapefruit note. This is it. This is the best grapefruit I've smelled. It's not even close. And I've smelled a few grapefruits. A lot of the time, I don't like grapefruit because it does have this sulfuric thing going on. The good thing about the grapefruit heart is it has a nice sweetness to sort of balance that. But yeah, this is extremely refined, elegant, natural. It really is the top end of what you can get from a citrus fresh perfume. It really is really beautiful stuff. You're going to feel fresh when you wear it. There's an aspect of it as we go more into the base, into the sort of the musky amberiness of it. There's an aspect of this that really reminds me of the older Creed perfumes. You know, the sort of ambergris base, the salty, sort of intense saltiness. This has that. This definitely has a part of that in it. It's got new materials, the symphonide, ambertonic, but the way it's sort of mixed with the sharp sort of almost acidic sort of tangy fruitiness that's in there. It really does give you that sort of ambergris vibe from the old Creeds, which I thought was absolutely amazing. So it's almost like the muskiness. It almost has this sort of I wouldn't call it an aquatic, but it's kind of going in that direction with how it smells. So you've got this sort of, if I can just summarize it, you've got this sort of juicy, tangy, fruity, citric thing leaning into a musky, almost aquatic base. It's very crisp, very refreshing, very uplifting. It's absolutely beautiful, this stuff. I'm not disappointed. You know, like I said, it was a blind buy. I'm not disappointed at all with this. This is a straight to the top of my, pile of fresh perfumes. And I'm quite fussy, picky when it comes to things, like the fresh, the niche citrus perfumes. I'll give you an idea of some things I've got in my collection as a comparison, just to let you know, if you like these things, maybe you'll like this one. But this is absolutely phenomenal perfume. Thank you, Jean-Christophe. This is some really nice stuff. I haven't smelled anything that's approaching how good this smells in this sort of scent for a very long time. Literally, probably since Aventus was launched. And there's one I'm going to mention which I do enjoy a lot. again, it's just derivative of Aventus, really. So this is the first one that's come along in a long time, I think, which does something absolutely brand new. Obviously, a citrus perfume, how many ways can you spin that? But this like plum thing that's going on with the grapefruit and the sort of the sparklingness of it, the sharpness, the fruitiness, it's quite strong as well. You know, you guys who like the beast mode things, you're probably not going to love this because it's not, you know, a monster with the sort of synthetic things to make it, you know, last and project. But in terms of a perfume that has this sort of natural quality and scent profile, it's actually very strong. It really does last on the skin. That Symphonide is no joke. It's quite a strong material. If you smelt Vetiver, you'll know that lasts a long time on skin. It really does give it an extra sort of fixative quality. And yeah, like I said, the grapefruit and this sort of fruity middle section is there throughout the entire length of the fragrance. It doesn't fade out. So it's an absolutely stunning fragrance. Beautiful presentation that you get with it. It's not one of these brands where you've got a fancy bottle. One beginning with X, I'm not going to say its name, but there's brands where you get very fancy looking bottles and half the time the fragrance does not match the presentation. In this instance, you know, and I would only buy, you know, something at this like price level if it ticked all the, well, I don't necessarily mind the presentation not being amazing, but in this instance, you've got something where the presentation is absolutely knockout, sort of beautiful, and then the juice inside matches it. It's up to the same like quality. So yeah, this Balchaud brand, thank you very much, guys. They did send me some more soaps because I was one of the initial people who bought the soaps, and they had a lot of the soaps, so they sent me some more soaps. So thank you very much for the soaps, guys. I'm going to be enjoying the soaps. I've got some there was a different name in the soaps, but I've got some matching soap for this stuff. And yeah, the perfume absolutely blew my mind. Absolutely incredible, guys. I'm not saying blind buy it, but you know, if you have the sort of the funds and you know what you like, you're not going to regret this one, I don't think. This is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I couldn't be happier, basically. I'm really, really happy with this. I think this is the best, like I said, the best new perfume I've had my nose on that's like a citrus fresh perfume for a very, very, very long time. And you guys, if you know me, know I like my, you know, the old Creeds, the Pierre Bourdons, the Aventus. I was big on Aventus. I feel like Aventus is played out. For me, this is much more enjoyable to wear than Aventus is nowadays. I can rock this and not feel like I'm smelling like a million other people smelling like pineapple. This is crazy good. So that is Amour Citron. I've got a few perfumes here as comparison points, just to throw them out there. Other niche citruses that I very much enjoy, which I think if you like these, there's a good chance you might like this one. So we've got Millésime Imperial, Creed, Pierre Bourdon, classic. The ultimate aquatic fragrance, the masterpiece, best fragrance of all time. To my nose, this is the best fragrance of all time. This is highly refined, salty, got the iris thing, a little bit floral, and then you got the fruitiness with the sort of the citruses creating that like melon smell. This one, you guys all know how this smells, but you've got to have a slightly older bottle to really get the full sort of effect of it. Yeah, this one, the level of refinedness to how it smells and how it's blended is, I would compare it. I would say it's comparable. Amour Citron is a little richer, it's a little fruitier, I would say. It's a little more dense in the middle section. This one is very much sparkling and has this sort of salty, ethereal thing, which is just absolutely amazing. But Amour Citron definitely has that crispness to it, that sort of almost salty vibe. So a good point of comparison. Next one I'm going to bring in, you've got Elysium, Roger's Elysium. This is the parfum. This is not the parfum cologne, so this is the stronger version. This is the one I enjoy the most, which has a quote-unquote grapefruit note. Now, the grapefruit in Elysium is nowhere near as natural smelling as the one in Amour Citron. Amour Citron's grapefruit is really a realistic grapefruit, but sort of refined in a way where you don't get the part of the grapefruit that I don't think smells too good. This one has a very nice, refreshing, like fizzy grapefruit note. it's not necessarily super realistic, but it's very, I think it's, even though it's not like quote unquote natural, I think the way this one's blended is very like pleasing. It has this, I believe it has the same musk that they use in Aventus, so it has a similar thing going on to Aventus, but very much with on the grapefruit side. It leans towards grapefruit, has a nice fruitiness in the middle section, some like berries and some other things, and then there's a vetiver going on in the base, which some people don't enjoy. Some people don't like the vetiver vibe that they get from Roger Leeson. I love it. I think this is top notch. Again, it's an ultra expensive citrus perfume. This one runs you, the retail is outrageous. That's a good one to sort of go to as a comparison point. I personally think Amour Citron smells better than this one. If you're going to judge it on the grapefruit note, if you're going to judge it on the fruity aspect to it, Amour Citron certainly smells better than this. But this is a really nice, obviously refreshing summer perfume. Ultra expensive, maybe not your daily kind of wear, but highly enjoyable. I really like this one. This one's awesome. There's another one, and then finally Bergamot 22, which is another one I really enjoy. You can see this bottle is almost finished. It's not got much left in it. This one to me is the ultimate sort of expression of bergamot. It doesn't really smell like bergamot. It has grapefruit, it has a vetiver, it has some spice to it. I think the level of like sort of refinedness and how it's quite unisex is the thing that reminds me most of Amour Citron. The way this is a sparkly unisex citrus. It doesn't quite have the same body as Amour Citron. It's maybe not as strong. People complain about the performance with this one. I don't have problems personally. I think it lasts, and you know, the performance is very good for me. The smell is one of the best things I've ever smelled. I really like the nutmeg in this, the way it's sort of a little bit spicy. Yeah, I'll never be without this one. This one's absolutely awesome for me. Some people think it smells too weak or you know, feminine or whatever, but for me this is the best citrus, niche citrus that is totally like, you know, it's unisex for sure. Amour Citron, very unisex. I would say a very unisex perfume. But because of the way the sort of the sharpness of the citrus, like I said, the sharpness of the citrus, that sort of tangy middle section with the blackcurrant and the plum sort of mixing in, and whew, it's just, it really is magic. This one is straight up there. I've put it like on the Fragrantica. You can like mess around, put like your top perfumes on there. I've got it up there. I've got this one up there with this one as sort of my favourites. And you know, you guys know I love Aventus, but Aventus, I feel we're finished with Aventus. Like, Aventus was a thing. Everyone smelt it now. Everyone still wears it. If you want Aventus, just go Mystery for him. I think Mystery for him is a bit more exciting. It's a bit more uplifting. You know, it doesn't have that sort of woodiness. I'm really enjoying Mystery for him, but when I want to like really treat myself, this is the one I'm going to be rocking now. This one is absolutely magic. Like, thank you, Jean-Christophe. Thank you, Balchaud, for coming up with this stuff. I think this is going to be a classic for a long time to come. I just hope more people can get their nose in it next year. I hope, you know, the sort of word gets out and stuff that this stuff is absolutely amazing. Not going to be, like I said, it's not going to be for all the Aventus people necessarily. It hasn't got quite that sort of same fizziness, and maybe the opening of Aventus is the part people really enjoy. This one's opening is not quite as, I would say it's not quite as sort of impressive maybe as the Aventus opening, just because Aventus has that heavier tide and it has all the things sort of going on in the sort of the middle section and the top that really sort of blow your mind. This one really, like I said, it opens with a blast of grapefruit, a sharp grapefruit, and it sort of almost goes straight into that like liquory, like fruity, tangy middle section. And I think that fruit, that Mirabelle plum, the way that Mirabelle plum note has been put in there, that's the sort of secret sauce of this one, I think. I think if you want to say Aventus is all about the apple, which to me it's mostly about how it has an appley sort of vibe to it, this one is all about the plum, the way the plum note is constructed and the way it sort of works against the grapefruit and the blackcurrant. That's why this one is an absolute knockout. You know, is it worth like the €295? that's going to be up to you. But if you want a niche citrus perfume, I have no regrets. I think it's absolutely worth the money. You know, they're trying to compete at the level of the market where they are going against the Rogers and the Creeds and the MFKs. And if you look at the price of these brands now, they're going up and up and up. Is the quality increasing? I would say probably not. If anything, they're getting worse and worse in terms of new releases and downgrades to existing releases. So you've got something here which is absolutely at the top of its game. So there you go. I couldn't be happier with this one. And yeah, straight recommendation to people who like the same sort of things I might like. I would briefly mention the other perfume. I've got a little sample. It's like a sample of a sample because I sent someone the sample. But the rose perfume in perfume form is very, very impressive. Rose du Matin. It smells very much of lychee. It's got a note of lychee in it. And the lychee note here, again, there's blackcurrant as well. A bit like Amour Citron, you've got blackcurrant. But you've got the juiciest, most realistic lychee note here. This is Jean-Christophe again, all cylinders, coming up with something that's just mouth-wateringly delicious. If you like rose perfumes, or if you're a lady and you want something that's a bit more feminine leaning, that's very fruity and delicious, and you've got the sort of budget to go up to something niche, this one I think is standout. This is easily the best interpretation of lychee I've smelled in a perfume. And I haven't smelled that many women's perfumes that use lychee, but I'm aware that it's a popular note. Obviously things like Delina and such, this absolutely blows them away. The lychee in this, the way it's like extra juicy and sort of, yeah, very realistic, very, very delicious. So Rose du Matin is the other perfume by Jean-Christophe in the line, which is another, like, it's an absolute banger. It's just, it's not one I'm necessarily going to buy a full bottle of immediately, but I do appreciate that it's some really great stuff. There's another one in the line called Mango Cœur. Now this is by another perfumer. They've got, you can look him up. It's Shadi Samra. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name correctly, but he's done quite a few perfumes for Fragrance du Bois. He's done lots of niche stuff. He's obviously very talented. He specialises more with oud and woody notes. This one called Mango Cœur, which is obviously mango leather, is an absolute knockout leathery woody scent. If you get to smell this, it has this sort of sweet, fruity note that plays against the leather. It's beast mode. I don't normally like perfumes that are this strong, but he's really cooked up something super special with this one. If you like your strong, cold weather perfumes, this one is one of the best ones you can probably buy that's come out, in recent sort of times. It's definitely one of the best things I've smelt, which is based around leather. It's like really, really impressive. Yeah, really, really cool. Really, really good one. Again, maybe I'm not rushing out to get the bottle because it's not, that genre sense is not so much my thing, what I go in for, but it's good stuff. It's really good stuff. So they've got other things. They've got an oud one. They've got something. So they've got 6 perfumes in the line. They're all very, very impressive. The one that I've purchased, Amour Citron, is an absolute knockout. I almost can't believe how good this one is. This is one of the best bottles I've picked up in a long time. One of the best perfumes in my collection. One of the best one of the best things I've ever smelt. Basically, it's that good to my nose. Obviously, sample and stuff if you're not. Because I don't think everyone is necessarily, the people that like Aventus and Elysium aren't necessarily automatically going to love this. I've given you reference points from other ones that I enjoy, Millésime Imperial, Bergamot 22. I think you need to enjoy that sort of refined, slightly unisex vibe with your citruses to really love this one like I do. But yeah, I think it's a phenomenal smell. Very uplifting, hangs around. Yeah, I've said enough good things about this, but yeah, highly recommend Amour Citron. Let's try and get it up close. And you got, lovely bottle, sort of, beautiful bottle, beautiful presentation with the box. You're not going to be disappointed about the presentation with this in any way whatsoever. Just highly recommend this brand. And hopefully, from what I hear, they've, the iris scent that I mentioned that's in the set of soaps that hasn't been released as a perfume yet. Hopefully that one will come out. I think that one's quite special. Probably the best iris that I've smelt that's just a straight iris with, you know, sort of extra elements, but it's very much based around iris. Hopefully I can pick that one up. I've got some of the soap that I can enjoy, but hopefully I can pick that one up, and I might even be able to sample it in perfume form before the launch. So if I manage to get a sample of it before the launch of it, I will certainly let you guys know what I get from the full perfume, because that one, I think, you know, is a very popular note. People like the Dior line with the iris. I think that one, and in terms of a niche iris that is unisex and maybe you could say slightly masculine leaning, that one smells very, very, very refined. It's very beautiful. Yeah, these perfumes really are magical perfumes. And yeah, the Amour Citron, if you like a good citrus note, specifically grapefruit, but even if you don't go in for grapefruit normally, the way this is done is just oh, it's amazing. So yeah, I'm going to leave you there, guys. I hope you enjoyed hearing about this one. I might speak about some other ones soon. I've got the Incense Copal, which is a brand new release, another Jean-Christophe creation. I've got some other things as well I can talk about. This one I had to talk about because no one else is, you know, this is the first review on it. It might be it might be the only review that you see on this perfume for the foreseeable future. Mystery for him, there hasn't been a review since my one. Tells you how many people are interested in these things. It's a shame, because I do think these are the best things on the market, the best things being created in the industry. I think, like I said, I think Jean-Christophe is hitting his prime, his peak with what he's doing. This is just more proof of that, really. So, yeah, if you thought he peaked with Aventus, get your nose on this, get your nose on some of these other ones. It's some really good stuff. So, yeah, I will leave it there, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.